Breaking news, the Patriots have officially parted ways with Bailey Zappe for the second year in a row. They also cut 19 other players ahead of the 53-man deadline, which is today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Bailey Zappe came a little bit earlier this morning, about 30 minutes ago, but it wasn't really a surprise. We always knew that Joe Milton had beaten out Bailey Zappe, who was also cut last year when it was just he and Mac Jones. Then he was re-signed to the 53-man roster. So ultimately, I think Bailey Zappe is a solid quarterback, and I think he can make a living as a backup quarterback in the NFL. But his time in New England has officially come to an end. So with that being said, if you guys want any latest news or rumors on the New England Patriots for complete free, we will never ask you for a subscription or anything like that that costs money. All you guys have to do is just support the channel by hitting that sub button if you want the latest news and rumors around your favorite NFL team. So as you guys can see, 9:44 this morning, the Patriots are waiving quarterback Bailey Zappe per source. This does come from Tom Pelissero, and we always knew that Joe Milton pretty much beat out Bailey Zappe in every facet possible when it comes to football. However, the quarterback battle has been pretty tight, not just for quarterback 1, but also for quarterback 3. Even seeing Joe Milton's performance in week 3, I really thought they might linger a little bit longer on Bailey Zappe, but nonetheless, you can only have 3 quarterbacks on your 53-man roster. I'll update you guys on the latest status on QB1 towards the back half of this show. But Bailey Zappe, I think, could absolutely re-sign with another team. The first 2 teams that come in my mind are the Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. I think right now, working behind Justin Herbert and working under Jim Harbaugh would be perfect for Bailey Zappe. He is a prototypical quarterback. Not too flashy, just likes to do the X's and O's. But for the Patriots and the losing record they had last year, you need flashy. You need somebody that's going to step out of the pocket and take advantage, and I think that's what they have in Brissett, May, and Milton. But 19 other guys also got the boot, unfortunately, today. And just so you guys know, this is a reoccurring long list of cuts that are just going to be happening throughout the day. And I mean, it started on Monday. Today is the deadline, and yesterday they decided to cut numerous players, 14 to be exact, and even since I started making this video, 3 more players got cut. It's going to be hard to keep up, but I will promise I will do my best to get you guys the latest coverage. So on Monday's cuts, they did end up cutting, once again, Deshaun Fenwick. They cut him, then they re-signed him because they put somebody else on the injured list. So now running back Deshaun Fenwick is officially done with the Patriots. Same for tight end LaMichael Pettway. I think that Jaheim Bell has just really solidified himself as that tight end 3 spot. So I don't think there was enough room for Pettway. Tight end Jacob Warren. Wide receiver Kawaan Baker had a great catch in week 3 versus the Commanders, but that was pretty much the only highlight I have of him throughout this whole training camp. And then center Charles Turner. Obviously, long list of centers. You got Jake Andrews, David Andrews, as well as Nick Leverett. So no room for somebody like Turner. But then it keeps coming. Cornerback Azizi Hearn, who was a liability in the secondary versus McSorley and the Washington Commanders. If he's giving up that many plays against McSorley, I can only imagine what he would do in a real game. Defensive line, Sam Roberts. Linebacker, Steele Chambers, who did get a lot of reps in week 3, but ultimately just wasn't enough to make the 53-man roster. Defensive tackle, Josiah Bronson, and defensive end, Christian McCarroll, who they did just sign after a workout last week. But Monday, like I said, they had a lot of people they wanted to get off the roster. Long snapper Tucker Addington, which looks like they're going to end up just going with Joe like they always have. Tackle Zuri Henry. Cornerback Mikey Victor. Really tight cornerback room. That's actually one of my favorite position battles so far in training camp. Victor not really standing out to me. And then tight end Jacob Warren as well. Now the 5 surprise cuts, if you want to call it, not that they were really surprising to me, but I did think that they put their best foot forward to possibly make the 53-man roster. Includes outside linebacker William Bradley-King. I think every single rep that he had ended up with a good result, and I thought that he really put his best foot forward in the last 3 preseason games, but that's a tight linebacker room as well. Tight end Mitchell Wilcox, obviously playing for the Bengals the last 3 seasons, didn't really prove enough, especially when he was an early target in training camp, but he got injured in week 2, and then once you get injured in training camp, it's pretty much a done deal. Safety, Joshuah Bledsoe, I thought that he also made his best effort in the last game, especially against the Commanders, but more so against their second and third offense. So overall, it was a really tight race. Running back Terrell Jennings, we got to see him a little bit in preseason, but nothing too flashy. And defensive tackle Armon Watts. Armon, that does suck because I thought he could have made the 53-man roster, but when you have an injury like Christian Barmore, he didn't step up to replace that role. So I think that was his opportunity, and he just didn't grasp it while he had it. Especially when you're starting to look at somebody like William Bradley-King. Remember how I said that I thought he put his best foot forward in every single game? I stand by that. But here's my roster projection for the linebackers depth chart, and I just don't think that you're going to outplay somebody like Taki. Even O'Shane Ximines, Big Ox has been showcasing that he can play with the ones and twos so far in training camp and in preseason. He's also become a nice little headhunter as well. And then you got Raekwon McMillan. However, if Taki does prove to maybe not be what he was, I could see possibly signing William Bradley-King to the practice squad and maybe moving him up as injuries do happen throughout the rest of the season. So my last question here for you guys is, are you surprised that William Bradley-King got cut from the Patriots? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And then I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about who's on the PUP, who's on the injured list, and also I want to talk about the quarterback battle because Gerard Mayo gave an update last night, and I do think we're going to get an answer later today about who the quarterback one is. Before I jump into that, I want to make sure you guys are completely well-fed and taken care of as the football season is right around the corner. Let me tell you guys about our sponsor here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I'm talking about Factor. If you guys are looking for a very healthy lifestyle, no prep, no mess meals, Factor is what you need to be using. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you always got kids running around, you got soccer practice, and you got cheerleading practice, and then you got football games at night, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals that are also delivered right to your door. I've become a fan of driving up to stores and just ordering my groceries online, but having Factor means that I don't have to waste those groceries that I end up not using. I have a bag of green onions in my fridge that have probably been there for last month. Yeah, that's probably not sanitary, but with Factor, you never have to worry about buying ingredients and never using them, especially because you get to treat yourself to restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, blackened salmon. I'm a picky eater. And if these sound good to me, they're going to sound good to you and your family. So if you guys are really interested in getting a box shipped right to your door filled with delicious meals, all you guys need to do is head to factormeals.com/patchchat50. Use code patchchat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code patchchat50 at factormeals.com/patchchat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. No surprise here, Kendrick Bourne has now been placed on the PUP list. We will not see him for 4 weeks. And while that does suck, not having Kendrick Bourne, I'm really excited about the wide receiver group that now gets to showcase their skills like Kawaan Baker, even a little bit lower in the depth chart as well, like Jalen Reagor, Tyquan Thornton, Kayshon Boutte. If they end up making the 53-man roster, this allows them to really figure out what resources that they have. But offensive lineman Cole Strange has ended up on the PUP list. This was actually pretty surprising to me. I thought there'd be offensive linemen that would have ended up showcasing their skills and beating out somebody like Cole Strange, but I guess they haven't seen enough from the offensive line that they still want Cole Strange around, so we won't see him for 4 weeks, but he is still on the roster. And I also saw a recent report that Marte Mapu is on the to be determined. He's still on the brink of maybe not making this roster as well as maybe being put on the PUP list just because he's been dealing with an injury for a while as well. So we got 2 official PUP list members in Kendrick Bourne and Cole Strange. And I'll keep you guys updated as to whether Marte Mapu ends up on the same list with them as well. But let's take it back to Cole Strange. I know a lot of you guys really early in the offseason were saying, just cut Cole Strange. Just let him go. He's been injured. He's still injured. Do we need him? So now I ask you guys, do you think the Patriots should have cut Cole Strange by now? Or do you think he still has enough left in his tank to remain on the roster after he's on the PUP list? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, the information you guys have all been waiting for. Let's talk about Drake May, Jacoby Brissett, and who's going to be quarterback one for your New England Patriots. Ian Rappaport actually spoke about this late last evening when Jerod Mayo was supposed to know who quarterback one was going to be. Ian Rappaport did say, listening to Jerod Mayo, it's clear there is no firm decision yet. There doesn't have to be. Obviously, this week you would think one would come, but no firm decision yet. It's really a multifaceted decision. It's not simply, okay, who throws the ball better, who played better in the last game. If you had that, then obviously you would say, okay, Drake May, get out there. But Jerod Mayo said he is going to look at every single piece of the offseason to determine who quarterback one is, not just who performed well and who didn't. And Mark Daniels also tweeted this out, and I want to make it very known that this is the most important thing, that the team knows who quarterback one is, and before I do, before you guys do. So I have a feeling it's not going to be announced until after the 53-man roster, just because you want to make sure that the entire team that's going to be playing in a Patriots uniform this season knows who their quarterback is going to be, because that's your captain, that's your leader. That's who is supposed to be winning you ball games. So, with that being said, my last question that I do have for you guys here is, who do you want to be quarterback one for week one? That's simple. Type JB for Brissett, type DM for Drake May, and like I said, cuts are going to keep coming whether we like it or not. I can't make an 8-minute video for every single player that gets cut, so go on ahead, hit that sub button for me. I'll be posting shorts all day long to let you guys know the latest cuts around your Patriots, and I will post a video later today that has the official 53-man roster.